Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at all of the Dawning weapons, and I'm going to show you all what the best rolls are for each one, for PvE and PvP. We did this for the Spire the Watcher weapons as well, so if you have not seen that video, go ahead and find it. We do all 6, but in today's, like I said, we're doing the 4 Dawning weapons. So starting off with the sword here, we're going to go ahead and show you the best roll for PvE and PvP, and move on to the next until we're done. So stay tuned and hope you get some god rolls. So here we go, everyone. We're going to look here at the Zephyr sword. There's a lot of good ones in here. I feel like the best blade overall, like almost always, is Jagged Edge, just because you get a plus to your damage at the cost. You do at the cost of sword ammo, yes, but barely. It's pretty worth it in my opinion. So personally, I like Jagged Edge. Swordmaster's Guard isn't bad. There's one. No, Swordmasters is probably what you're gonna want. I feel like maybe it is. Yeah, is it Swordmasters that it's called? I think it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Swordmasters. I don't want Burst Guard because that's about like actually guarding. Who guards swords? Let's be honest with ourselves. Um, yeah, I'm not doing that. And same thing with Enduring Blade. Like, if you actually plan on guarding a sword, then sure, but I never do, and I don't really know people that do either. So I wouldn't even go with like Heavy Guard. Balance Guard isn't bad, but I still think that Sword Masters is the best because it increases the charge time. So yeah, definitely gonna go with the Sword Masters there. Next are the big traits. So there's a few in here. Duelist, Trance, Sword Final Blows, grant increased charge rate, efficiency, and defense while this weapon is stowed. That's not that bad. In PvE or in PvP, you're never gonna see that. Honestly, I would go with Relentless all the time because Relentless is great. It gives you sword ammo for free. That's very nice. For PvE, this is definitely what I would go for. In PvP, it doesn't do anything. Like, none of these really do much. Unrelenting does and Thresh does. That's probably it. I'd overall, I'd probably go with either Unrelenting because you're pushing people, or Thresh. But seeing as I would probably use this sword more so for PvE. Definitely gonna go with Relentless there. Now we have Cold Steel powered sword hits slow targets. That's interesting, very fun, but I don't know how great that's gonna be in PvP. It's definitely not, because if you're hitting somebody with the powered sword hit, they're dead, or just even a light sword hit, they're dead. Definitely not gonna help you out there. We do have On Guard, quick attacks immediately after swapping to this sword do additional damage. This would be cool for PvE, I guess. Still probably wouldn't pick that. It's not bad though. Assassin's Blade, sword kills, boost movement speed and damage. Now for PvP, yes, very good. I would pick Assassin's Blade probably. Now, but other than that, I probably wouldn't. I would not pick that. So I would not pick that for PvE probably. Surrounded, not bad, but again, not what I would pick in PvP. This is useless because increased sword damage does not matter. You're going to kill them anyway with one hit. Whirlwind is really nice for PvP or PvE, so you could go Relentless Whirlwind, which is a classic combination, or even Vorpal Weapon. But I think that Whirlwind does more. I think it does more. Um, so yeah, I would definitely go with Whirlwind here and Relentless for PvE. And for PvP, probably Assassin's Blade and like Thresh or Unrelenting. This would be kind of fun to use. I probably wouldn't use this sword overall in PvP. I don't really, if it doesn't have Eager Edge, I really don't care about it. That's kind of how it goes now with swords. And it also does have this Dawning Surprise origin trait. So rapidly defeating targets grants a Dawning gift, and defeating powerful targets grants as count as more than one. So whatever that's for, it's probably for PvE. I don't think this has any merit in PvP, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the sword. And you do juice up that impact, I guess, because that's the only weapon mass work. So yeah, that's it with the sword. Decent, I guess. It'll be interesting to see how much damage it does, and it is stasis. So relentless whirlwind, and it's stasis. So if you're doing a like font of might thing, you could definitely do it if you play stasis. So that's awesome. Next is the avalanche. So this is a machine gun. It's one of the slow boys, if I'm not mistaken. In terms of barrels, I don't really think they matter that much. I'd probably go with something like hammer forged. and then ricochet rounds. Or you could even go with like light mag, wouldn't be too bad if you're running PvE. But this thing actually has decent reload speed with 60 there base. So probably just gonna go hammer forward ricochet. Not that it really matters that much. First, we're gonna look at the PvP role. Dynamic sway is really nice. Surplus is really nice. Encore is actually kind of good. What is hot shot swap? Final blows build and store charges, which allow you to swap and stow this weapon at a faster rate. That's kind of cool. That wouldn't be too bad, though. You're not going to really switch that much to Avalanche, so probably useless. But for PvP, definitely gonna go with dynamic or surplus. Probably dynamic overall, or maybe even actually no, I'll go with surplus. How about that? We'll go with surplus just because you get insane stats on the thing. At max stacks, with if you have all your abilities, you're looking at a 100 reload speed. You're looking at a 75 stability and a 90 handling stat, which is insane. Dynamic sway would be really good though. So if this thing does jump a lot, then yeah, I would probably go dynamic. Next we have Swashbuckler, Adrenaline Junkie. These in PvP maybe. Actually, I'd probably go with I don't know. That's kind of tough. Target lock wouldn't be bad either. This is a really hard one because in terms of PvP, actually no, it's not. Tap the trigger for PvP. I would definitely go with that. It's not great, but it is what it is. I wouldn't bring this thing in the PvP anyway. Like the slow machine guns are pretty bad in my opinion, so I wouldn't go with that. So this thing I would mainly use in PvE for either ad clear or like just shooting a boss, which I have seen people use machine guns for. So let's look at this. In terms of PvE, definitely gonna go with Substance. Definitely the best there. Vorpal weapon wouldn't be bad if you're using this on bosses. Incandescent if you're going for ad clear. Very, very good. Also with Solar 3.0 builds. Honestly, target lock would be really good on this thing as well. I am gonna put a range master just for the memes. So yeah, this is probably what I would go with if I'm looking to shoot a boss. Substance and target lock. Substance keeps reloading it over and over and over again, and target lock we're gonna get increased damage depending on how long we're on that target. So very nice, or even Vorpal weapon there. But if I'm rocking this in PvE, probably Incandescent and Substance or Ambitious Assassin would be the best thing for PvE. And of course, we have, again, the 2 origin traits. Suro Synergy is really nice. Reloading grants this weapon bonus handling and reduces incoming flinch for a short time. I'd probably go for that for PvP. And if I'm farming shit for the Dawning, then definitely going to run Dawning Surprise. So that's really it when it comes to the Avalanche. Next is the Cold Front. 750 RPM SMG, one of my favorite archetypes, to be honest. So in terms of PvP, oh my god, 0 stability. Okay, so you could go with like 75 range. Oh, baby. 75 range, no handling. Probably not ideal. Because this thing has so low of handling, small bore might not be too bad. If you don't really care about that, like honestly, fluted wouldn't be bad either because you can get really good handling there. Arrowhead break wouldn't be terrible, but probably corkscrew would probably be my go-to for this. You do get an increase to range and handling and stability, so probably my move there. Definitely gonna run Accurize rounds though. But if I'm talking PvE, probably gonna run Tac Mag there just for the bonus to the reload speed, higher magazine. But yeah, I probably wouldn't bring this thing into PvE to be honest, but I would use that. So for PvE for the next perk, nothing in here is actually, yeah, I'd go probably Stats for All, One for All for PvE, because if you're going to use One for All, you're going to be shooting a lot of targets anyway. In Stats for All, you're just going to get a bonus stats for everything. Probably good there. Rampage would also be really good. And yeah, honestly, Rampage would be nice. Stats for All, not too bad. I don't know how good this thing is overall, but yeah, should be fun. But for PvP, definitely Perpetual and Rangefinder. Tap the trigger wouldn't also be bad either, but I really like Perpetual. You just get free bonus stats, which is awesome. And Rangefinder to boost up the range. On 750s, or on just guns like this, I'm going for max range. You could go with Rampage. That would be kind of fun. So Rampage or Rangefinder, I think, for PvP as well. And again, ooh, this thing's actually Hake. which is one of the better origin traits. So you're going to get increased damage against vehicles, turrets, barricades, and stasis shields. And seeing as in competitive, a lot of people just spam Titans, Ramparts, Hake, Breach, Armaments are going to come in very, very handy. So for sure going to be running this for the Cold Front. So now we're going to be looking at the last weapon, the Stay Frosty Pulse Rifle. Actually looks kind of cool. It looks very similar to the Ogma, I believe. Looking at the stats there, I'm definitely going to want to juice up the range as much as possible. It's also a 450, which is awesome. I really like Arrowhead Break personally on pulse rifles. I always found that to be one of the better perks. Now, if we are going for range on this thing, Hammer Forge would be good. Full bore, actually not too bad. You're not losing a ton of great stats. Stability is kind of an L there, but not that upset about it. Probably would go Hammer Forge overall, or maybe even small bore would be good. But for the time being, I am going to put on Arrowhead Break for the increase of the recoil direction. As for the next spot, definitely Ricochet rounds. It's the move. Let's be honest with ourselves. And now we have the next slot. So there's already a few things on here that I think are very, very, very interesting. I have 3 perks in mind for PvE and PvP, really. So offhand strike, what does this do? Final blows grant additional weapon range, stability, and accuracy when firing from the hip for a short duration. Interesting. I don't think it works well on this weapon, but that is very interesting. For sure. For PvE, Encore is not terrible. Well-rounded, to be honest. I'd probably go with well-rounded. Just because it gives you a lot of... Actually, no, I wouldn't. What am I saying? Probably Thresh, to be honest. Like, there's not a good amount of... there's not, like, a great amount of PvE roles in this slot. I think Thresh is probably the best bet, but that's not really saying much. In terms of the second slot for PvE, really the 3 main perks that I see would be Kill Clip, Golden Tricorn, and Headstone. These are the best ones in my opinion. Headstone probably being one of the better ones. I'm a big fan of Golden Tricorn's damage, so maybe I'd even go with that. And Golden Tricorn's kind of the go-to in my opinion for PvP as well. So very, very nice for that. Now, looking at the PvP role, probably go with Killing Wind or Moving Target. It really depends. I honestly, this is a toss-up. I would take either or and be happy. For the time being, I'm gonna put Kill Clip on just because I really like the increase of the handling, the range, and mobility. I really like that. You get a lot of bonuses from Killing Wind, so I am gonna put Killing Wind on here. Now for the last 3 perks on this slot for PvP, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Golden Tricorn is amazing. I love Golden Tricorn. I think it's one of the better damage dealing perks, and same thing with Kill Clip. But again, if you can get Golden Tricorn stacks to work, it does the most damage out of any damage dealing perk. So that would be really, really nice. But Kill Clip would also be phenomenal. But I think what one of the juicier rolls on here is Desperado, because you're getting an increase to your RPM, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the rolls on this thing. I don't want to go like super into detail because this video is kind of getting a little long here, 13 minutes. So yeah, that's probably what I would run. And again, if you can craft these things, we'll talk about a crafting guide, or we'll talk about what my opinion is on the crafted shit later, or I'll just do weapon reviews on everything. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you did, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.